follow trawler. It's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Don't back down, double down. Don't back down, double down.
Yes, here we go. How are we all? Hopefully you can all hear me loud and clear on the bus. I was hoping to get the visual a wee bit better. I was hoping the telly was going to be... I was going to either move my telly or put another telly on my wall. I think that's the real plan. But I've not... Well, I've got it. But I'll be honest, I'm shite with DIY, so I'm not going to set up over there. So the optics tonight, I'm still looking at my telly over there. So hopefully everyone's all right with that. Nobody cares, really. You just got to listen to my shite if you want to stick around. If you don't want to stick around, totally understandable. But we are going to try and do this. I'm going to make a pledge to try and do this 75-80% of the games this season. I had a wee sort of... When you look back at last season, I bailed out for quite a bit, which I knew I was going to do. Hence why the boys in the bus and all that was formed. Everything I said, I was telling the truth with that regard. It was... I phoned Phil and said, look, you know, I felt that I was getting a wee bit more tired of it. I felt like there were shows I was not as up for doing, and it was maybe better when he was so able to keep to what the schedule was that he did it for himself, and I didn't feel then I was letting people down. However, time passes. I feel more energised to be doing these sort of things. We're nearly on every day right now, which has been great, and I want to do about 75-80% of the games I'm going to try and watch live this season. I think that's not putting crazy pressure on myself, if you know what I mean. It still is a lot of games. I mean, I'd be like doing this 40 times, but that's okay. We're allowed to have a bit of fun along the way. And do you know what's mad? I've not done a watch along since the old days. I was still back at my mum's, which apparently was to be slagged off for, but listen, we'll need to reset sometimes. And when I was back there, in the first year of having the bus, I think, or the first 6 months I had the bus, whatever it was, that's the last time I think I've done. I don't think I've done a watch along from Bhoycie HQ, and I've been here 3.5 years now, so it just tells you how long we've been on this mad journey on the bus. Big shout out to all of you who've been there from the start. Big shout out to all of you who have recently joined, because the subscriber numbers keep going up. And remember, if you've not hit the subscribe button, in case we hit, if you like what you've seen, watch it first. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down. That helps the algorithm for the night. If you want to become a member, we'll come up with a wee format for the members soon, I think. Where we can do maybe a wee lock-in show. Something like that is kind of on my radar for members only. But I don't know, maybe at midnight or something like that. We can all just get right on it, play some tunes, have a crack online. I think that'd be pretty cool. Bit lockdown-esque, I suppose, as well. But yeah, let's get to Celtic, more importantly, because let's look at the team. That's what interests me the most today. I've got to be honest, I feel a bit fucking compromised when I see the team, because it's not the Celtic sides of old that it's probably not as good as the one 2 years ago. In fact, it's definitely not the one that Brendan had 2 years ago. Right? Let's get that out of the road. But it's not that bad. That's a decent first 11. I think when you look at the subs bench, it's still not that bad. I think the goalkeeping department could be improved on. But when I look at a back four, Johnston, Carter, Vickers, Trusty, Tierney, pretty confident that's of a level I can deal with. When I look at a midfield, depending on how we line up right now, which could be McGregor, Engels, Negrin, and Yang, if it's 4-4-2, who knows? You could live with that this season. Of course, we know there's going to be departures, and that's the frustrating aspect, guys, because that's where it all falls apart. And then when you see Duran and Who straight in at the starting lineup, exactly, Martin doing the right thing, by the way. That is the absolute right call. I'm quite content that's a decent Celtic starting 11. But we know we're very close to losing Johnston. We're very close to losing Engels. Negrin, someone people heavily link with going. I tip Callum McGregor to go. I think that's changed now, that narrative. I think Johnson replaces McGregor as in the one that, you know, the outlier that might go. Do you know what I mean? Who you thought was going to be a mainstay of the team going forward. But I wasn't convinced. I wasn't convinced when I seen that when I seen the Johnson links with Everton and they're talking about 14 million. I'm not I don't have sources not shite, but just like, you know what I mean, folk tell you stuff and you either listen to it or you don't. It's as simple as that. And sometimes you can read between the lines if you've got an inquisitive wee mind like mine. Sometimes you're wrong. But I was under the impression Celtic, take from that what you will, I was under the impression Celtic would settle for 14 million. I speculated it'd be 18 to 21 million. 18 was obviously the minimum amount when I'm saying that, so I'd be very surprised if he goes for 14 million, albeit this might be the last time we see him line up at home. Will they get rid of Johnston and Engels before the Champions League qualifiers? I've asked and answered that question quite a few times over the last couple of weeks. I'm sure you guys will have noticed that, because I know they would. Do I believe they've got succession planning in place? I think with Engels, they've decided it's Bauer, but they won't sign Bauer till they've sold Engels. It's utterly bizarre. As for the Johnson replacement, the sensible thing is go get Araujo, because he's got the fan buy-in then. Even if he's not quite of Johnston's level at this moment in time. I actually think he's technically a better player. I just think Johnson as an all-round package is probably a better option. Notwithstanding that, I think Araujo, because of the connection he built in such a short space of time, fills that void. Go fucking do it. If Johnson's going and you're selling for 40 million, go pay half of that and go get Julian Araujo straight in. I don't think that would happen either. I think they'd wait till the Premier League squads were named in England before they decide to pursue a deal for Araujo, and you might get option B, C, F for right back, which is that's where we despair, and I'm not losing that sign, but albeit when I go through the lineup, or maybe I've just seen it in front of me again, and maybe just having a game of fucking football again that Celtic are competing in changes my mind. I don't know. But I do feel more confident about that lineup than what I had in my head, probably even through today. So that's a pleasant surprise. Positivity. That's what we want. Right, comments. As you can see, I'm going to be swinging around here to look at the comments, and I'll be swinging back that way to look at the football. But we'll make it work tonight. Don't you worry about that, guys. Patrick Kerrigan for such Scrooge board. 25 million for Dyson and AJ. We'd be like, buy one, get one free to the EPL for our two best players. What's going on? There's Mark O'Neill talking right now. I've got the volume deliberately low in the old Sky. If you just want to keep me up to date, I could kind of hear it, I can kind of not. But I can't have it too loud, you know, the old CR stuff, you know. Dyson, I think 8 to 10 million, I still think was lower than what I expected. I think a lot of people still thought you could get 25 million for him. I thought 15 would have been fine. I was trying to hear what O'Neill's saying there, but it's just a wee bit quiet at my end. But anyway, that's what it is. I'll be doing my best Jock Brown impression later anyway, don't worry for the commentary. Just a joke. Yeah, look, when it's Patrick, when it's 1 year to go, Celtic were always going to be susceptible to whatever offer was on the table. They kind of had to take because you were going to end up with. They didn't want another Odson Edward situation, I don't think. And to be honest with you, they'd already kind of done it with Maeda. And if it hadn't been Maeda pulling up his socks the last 8 weeks of the season, yes, Celtic don't win the league, but Maeda doesn't get his move. The English Premier League has been pretty dross last year for the first 6 months. There was no point in retaining it. I think he depreciated in his value, probably by that as well. But yeah, Celtic's attitude to departures and recruitment are completely miles off. I couldn't agree more. Tony Henderson, I'm bringing this up because it's full of compliments, mate. Unlike that Leanne Campbell who was on the other night, I balked her. She went vile, by the way, just so you know. I know there was a lot he's watching that night. They're probably in the chat now. She just went vile with her repost comments about and just labelling people that she doesn't know anything about you, you know, or your background, which you shouldn't be doing. Again, she never mentioned the football, so she's blocked completely. So sadly, we'll never get to know what she makes of Martin O'Neill maybe going 4-4-2 tonight, 3-5-2, or whether he carries on with 4-3-3. But you know what? I don't think she would have given you much opinion on that anyway. The opinion I do value is Tony Henderson, who is in. He says, you've got a great channel. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Solid guests, too. Yeah, they are. They're better than me. Looking forward to your game commentary and analysis. Yeah, I probably will get carried away and start commentating. Hopefully I don't go too Archie McPherson. Woofed! But we'll have a couple of beers together, Tony. We'll watch a football, and I will be, well, I can only be myself. So if that means that I end up, damn it, or I start going, and the number 4 for Celtic and all that shit. Not that there is a number 4 playing for us, but you know what I mean. If I go all commentary mode, then fuck it. Who cares? Predictions you're asking as well. Okay. I think we win convincingly tonight. I would like to think both of the new signings score tonight. How about that? There's a good prediction. As for the scoreline, you tell me what you think. If I could give you my tip bet that both of the new signings score, you tell me what you think the scoreline will be. That goes to the full chat as well, of course. Danny, will Duran work on the wing? Kyogo didn't. Well, this is the thing. I think he looks, to me, for me, he looks an out-and-out, all day long striker. However, he did get 10 assists for, was it Karabag we signed him from? I'm sure that, oh, well done, Sky. There's your camera going. Fucking hell, man. It's back now. But he is someone capable. And the rumour was actually that he plays out wide, or he likes to play out wide, Danny. So I'm a wee bit intrigued to see how the line. Remember, they're guessing when they put those graphics up on the screen. They're guessing. Just time to unfurl the flag. I'm fucking Monday night unfurling the flag as well. Just annoys me on another note. But yeah, Kyogo didn't when he joined. I mean, that's not a bad similarity as well, I suppose, in terms of value, what you'd paid. The excitement was around the goals. And then out left, Kyogo played, didn't he? Although, if you remember, I actually think he was quite effective at Ibrox that day. If Odson Edward hadn't put his boots on the wrong way around, remember he healed that tap-in for Kyogo assist from the left. That might have not been a defeat for Ange on his first derby, but anyway, we're going back in time there. That's the teams walking out. Cal McGregor with the trophy, as I say. Cal McGregor, someone I was very confident was leaving, shall we say. Very confident was leaving Celtic. Saudi Arabia being the option. You don't change agents for no reason. The photo of you with Brendan Rodgers' son and your new agency company, don't go online and get pulled without a reason. Has he assisted Martin in rocking the boat? Perhaps, because I think the most blockbuster thing he did, apart from, but I've got no time for the photo stuff, by the way, agency. He doesn't get dug out on that. He should be, by the way. But that's another conversation. But that was snide. It's a snidey move because you know it creates the goss. You're not being open up front and honest in what your thoughts and your vibe is on what you want to do with Celtic, so or do at Celtic. I thought that just created confusion, which I don't expect for a club captain. However, something's definitely changed, because I thought the most blockbuster thing he actually did do that had substance was when he did the sit-down Sky Sports interview. I sort of like made it clear that I think he was kind of making it clear he changed his mind, if I'm honest. That's how it looked, but that might be me, because I was in a mindset he was definitely going to go. I don't know. But there's the teams all shaking hands now. The flag has been risen. Celtic are now on their way, by the way, for 6 in a row. How the fuck did we get back up to going for 6 in a row that quick? I would love to see. I would love to see how many of the years Sevco, the new Rangers, whatever you want to call them, were in the top league during 9 in a row, and then since they won the COVID year, after that, how many of the pundits that claim they're not biased but have Rangers allegiances have backed Rangers to win the league out of all those seasons? I bet it's year on year Chris Boyd, year on year Andy Hallidays, year on year whoever else. Maybe not Andy Halliday, actually, that's maybe a bad example. But you know what I mean. There's plenty of them out there. You'll never walk alone. Getting bellowed out around the stands. Love it, man. I do have to say as well, I do like Celtic Park at night. I'm sure everyone does in the evenings. Monday's a bit snide for. I don't think that's right for. I don't think it's right for the champions to be going out at that time. However, as an avid armchair viewer, as you know I am, I'm quite happy just to watch it that way, to be honest with you. Because one of the things is, when you get to watch the games at night, the whole optics of it all just looks a wee bit better. That's the way I see it. Right, what do we get as predictions then? Danny was in straight away, 3-0. Tony Henderson came back to me with 3-0. Charles Smith, great to have you on, mate. Great to have you on, pal. And he's saying 3-0, win, show the rest that we will not be moved. Well, here we go. Kick off, and it's Dundee to take it. If I am slightly ahead, I apologise, because I can only react in real time. If you think you're ahead of me, I might see the comment, I might not, but it might ruin it for some folks. So maybe it's best that if you're in the live chat and you want to do this for the whole game, which not many of you will, but if you do, you're of course welcome to. And just maybe try a wee bit of housekeeping. Maybe just not instantly react to your chat if you've not seen it coming on camera from me as of yet, because it'll ruin firstly my reaction if I see the comment, which I want to be as genuine as possible. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to fake it, am I? You know what I mean? I've seen the goal. All right, there's Celtic scored. It just kind of ruins the entertainment, doesn't it? If that's what you want to call this. Danny says I'm on a 4-minute delay. You're fucking joking me, son. Let me come out of this. See fucking... There we go. Holy shit, you're right, mate. At least I've not missed anything, eh? Thank you, Danny. That's me back up now. I'm at 6 minutes now. Just right 6 minutes. We'll do this throughout. We'll keep each other right. Dealing with the throwing in. Trusty starting today. I think people need to remember as well, with Trusty starting, Liam Scales is suspended. I think there's a huge debate now. Cameron Carter-Vickers is back in the team. I don't like Mark O'Neill will drop Cameron Carter-Vickers. I think that will be a guy. Have we seen Cameron Carter-Vickers start under Mark O'Neill yet, by the way? How long was Cameron Carter-Vickers just out for? Interesting. But with regards to the CCB, I think he'll be an absolute Rolls Royce for Martin. Jim, great to have you in the chat, mate. Don't worry, I've caught up. I think I've paused my telly at one point and I've forgotten that I've done it, so apologies for that, mate. You could have said earlier, you bastards. But yeah, will Trusty or will Scales be Martin's regular partner for CTV? I don't see him mixing it up too much at the back. I don't think that'll be his way. I think it'll be very much once he's made his mind up, or if he already has made his mind up, whoever that is, they'll keep the jersey, bar injury, bar suspension, or cup games. So a huge battle for Trusty or Scales. Here we go, down the right. Yang, big season for him. Had his first half decent campaign last year. I'm not going to lie to you and say I'm convinced, because I'm absolutely not. But he got his new deal as well. Martin seems to know how to get the best out of him. Celtic still applying the pressure. That's good. Danny saying he's still rewound a bit. Fucking hell, what minute are you on, Danny? I'm on 8 minutes now. Maybe far behind. So it looks so far like it's going to be testing my eyesight here. This is why I need the screen to be like right there going forward. Is it Duran that's then on the right, and we're going to have Yang on the left? Is that right? Because I reckon the wee wristbands look very much familiar with Duran, not Yang, and I think that's Yang on the left. Big season though for oh, chances. Oh, oh mate, he's total scrapped that. Good pressing, simple ball to you. Takes its first touch. Fucking hell, sir. We'll put that down to some early nerves. That is not the type of finish we were expecting. Fucking hell, man. Yvonne, no spoilers till Bhoycie tells us. I've not trying to be rude, by the way, Yvonne. I hope it doesn't come across as that. Just so it all works out all right for in terms of how the show's going to lay up. How big's my TV? I don't fucking remember, mate. 50 inches, something like that. I've not got great eyesight, mate. Remember, I used to have well, I don't give a wore glasses in the bus, but I should be wearing glasses at all times. I do have glasses, but they're broke. I'm not. I know. I'm not putting them on. I'm like fucking Austin Powers, man. Hello, my girl, Mike, in Hungary. It's awesome, mate. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. It's not the guy who used to be in the wee fellas. Excellent for Hungary. There was. Can't remember his name. He seemed alright. So a free kick given to Dundee there, but number 8. I mean, who again needs to get his name right. He's got a big grip of the other boy's shots, and then he is late there. I mean, in the modern day, obviously to me that's just free kick play on. Nobody cares. It's no big dramas. It's no big deals. It's a bit clumsy for the big man so far in terms of his finish. Then his grappling. I mean, I'm all for the 50-50 battles, by the way. I just know how modern football is. You can't do them anymore. It's shite. But I'd have to say there with who. It's a wee bit off the pace. It looks so far, and it's surprising because he's the only one who's played. I don't know how many league games has he played this year? A good few. Danny, looks like you were struggling to see. Was imagining a Michael Scott TV. I don't know what a Michael Scott TV is, mate, but no, it's a decent big Samsung thing that I've got, mate. Fucking, I'm gonna get into TV classes now. You know what I mean? Class system for TV, Danny. Is that what you're taking this channel? Simon Moody's not used to grass. That's an interesting point. Right, come on, Celtic. Early goal, that's what you want. Sell the nerves. Negrin. See, that's good forward play. Negrin! Who? He's just missed me about fucking 6 yards. Oh no. Negrin is 100% trying to start that towards goal. And when it's came towards, it's got to be instinctive for who it is instinctive. It goes wide by another yard. It's too gilt-edged. If you want my honest opinion, they're gilt-edged chances. If he's going to get himself two gilt-edged chances every 12 minutes of the game, he's going to score a lot of goals, I'm sure, because the ratio will change. But Simon is asking, who is who? You knew I was going to read that out, Simon. You knew I was going to read that out. And now Danny O'Malley's saying who with capital letters. So does that mean he scored? If you've just broke the code, Danny, I will not be happy. At my end, it's a big throw-in for Dundee. Jesus, side netting. Riley for a Dundee there. And it's amazing when you're hearing the name Simon Murray still involved. Fucking hell. He seems to have been around forever. Brilliant wee layoff from a good forward play. Shielded the ball brilliantly. A lovely wee layoff. It's signing a warning shot for Celtic. And for who, I suppose, as well. Because the pressure's all on him. There's been articles on the READ Celtic site about there's never been so much pressure on maybe a Celtic player. Right. Goalkeeper dilly-dallies for Dundee, but he gets rid of it. Fuck's sake. Yeah, but it's a warning shot, as I say. You know, if you're not going to take your chances, that's what can happen. Brilliant shielding there for Simon Murray. Left foot opens it up a wee bit with his boot, but side netting for Dundee. Danny, I was copying you shouting, who think? Fuck. Good to have you on, by the way, for the lives, Danny. This takes us back. This is about... When were we doing this? 2022? Cool, man. 4 years on. You're still in there supporting me. I appreciate that, mate. And to everyone else. There's in 60 odd in the chat, something like that right now. So a big shout out to you. And I hope we're all going to see a positive result tonight as well. But Dundee having their first spell, I think it'd be fair to say, the game. Unless they had one in the first 5 minutes, which I was kind of delayed on. He's lined up, so we won't spoil it. That's cool, Danny, mate. No worries at all, my pal. I was working at the bar last night. There was a girl who I know very well, and she was talking to me about how she had a wee hankering for Desperados recently. That encouraged me to buy one for tonight, so why not? If that's Yang sort of pressing there, he's just closed down across very quickly. Good impetus about him, good energy, good aggression. I love that. Good to see. He's very much going to be... He could become a confidence player. He could become in that makeup of your Bobby Petter type of person that Martin O'Neill's worked his magic with. Dundee's long throw in there, just went into the box, a nice wee flick on, but dealt with by the fridge CCV. Does he still get called that? I don't know. Tierney in similar fashion now, clearing it when we're under a bit of pressure. Dundee on the volley, loft it back in. They've got another throw in a decent position, though, a decent place. You know, the thing is, I'm not shiting myself or anything like that at this moment in time, but the reality is Celtic should be too clear. If they go one behind, how nervous is who going to be then when he gets an opportunity? 1888 CFC comes in. Come on, Celtic, get a goal. Spot on. And there is another regular on the channel. Irishman in Porto 2002. Always a pleasure to have you on, mate. Is Bhoycie going to join the Yang gang? I don't think so, mate. But I'll call it as I see it. I think that's the fairest thing I can say, mate. I will call it as I see it. Right, come on. Nice wee knockdown by who there? On the left, right. Who? Oh, I thought he was going to do a wee death flick inside. Yang back in the ball. Yeah, time to recycle it now. Yep. That's okay. Right, Yang. Final ball's got to be decent here. He goes inside instead. Celtic knocking about really confidently at this moment in time. Nice to see. Now we're at right. Let's see what Duran can do. Not the position I want to see him in. I want to see him through the middle, partnering who. And by his finishing, by the way, that we've seen in pre-season, he scores both the chances that who's missed so far today. Celtic are now back within their own half, all the way back to the keeper. It's frustrating, but they are actually knocking the ball about with a fair bit of confidence there in that passing side. I'll bring up this one. I've got no idea what it means, so if it's a wee innuendo, someone tell me, or it's a stateside hunt. Is that Raymond slang? Someone let me know. Who will be fine just warming up? Yeah, I mean, you could call it at the time as the minutes go by, the way. You're just talking in real time, Danny. I certainly don't think he's going to be a flop or anything like that. I'm absolutely buzzing that he's signed. But the two misses, Duran, the opportunities was 3-3 in pre-season. That's the only comparison that I'm making so far based on evidence. Callum McGregor tidying up again. He wants to get the ball to Duran quickly. Let's see what he could do. He's cutting in his left now. Doesn't beat his first man, but we've got options. Back to McGregor on the wide right. Fucking, I'm turning into commentating now. Fucking hell, boys. Kenneth Todd, yeah, Young's goal against them didn't get the credit it deserved because we lost the game, yeah. Wilfred Nancy was the only thing that people remembered then. Right, Tierney. Good ball. Negro never shy of a shot. Love it. I think Carter Vickers trying one of his spectaculars over the bar. He smiles, but at the same time, it's still no big boy, yeah? I was hearing for the judge, he was disappointed. The Superstore queue, he said, was like a snake. He says not snakes, as in a group of snakes, but I think that's what he was alluding to as well. But in terms of the length of the queue, good header by the fucking fan there. By the way, well played. But he said, so much for the not another penny campaign because that Superstore was absolutely jam packed and queued way out the door. Rows and rows. He then sent me a video of the jock scene stand saying these are the supposed improvements. There was a lot of dodgy paintwork and things like that. So he's on the rampage and he's doing the live reporting from the game, just in one of my earpieces for the bus. Maggie and Mike, I've gone Duran for the first goal and separately Celtic to win 3 or 4-0. Yeah, I think I can understand that. I really can. But at this moment in time, it's still 0-0 and it's a free kick for Dundee. Nothing area you could argue. But just got to be switched on at all times, because they could go long, no problem at all. Teams don't like doing that now. I haven't for the last few years. It's not been so much in vogue. I do think teams, in fact, to contradict myself, are mixing it up a wee bit more. Maybe the last 6 months to 12 months. Whatever Pep does, other teams will copy. Celtic get rid of that. They won both balls there. Dundee now have it back. Let's see how confident they are knocking it about like we were moments earlier. Keep the press up, that's it. Oh, brilliant pass there out wide right. But it is stopped in its tracks by a superb sliding tackle by KT. That's him at his best. That's what he loves doing. Such a shame. I don't think we've ever seen the very, very, very best he could have got to KT. But you know what? If we had, he wouldn't be here now. And I'm quite happy with KT being our left back. More than happy with it. But it's an opportunity for a long throw for Dundee. Big run up coming. This is going straight into the mixer. Headed slightly clear. Dundee still got... Right, well done. Now break! not surely a foul. No? I think it was Callum McGregor's touch letting him down as well there, disappointingly. Hello, Warren's Team Top, mate. Great to have you on, my pal. Great to have you on. I am certainly well, and I certainly hope you are too, my friend. Simon's asking, seen anything so far this weekend to worry you? I'm trying to think what I've seen to worry me. Oh, sorry, you're talking about football. Just kidding. Yeah, I've not seen anything to worry me so far, football-wise, mate. But, you know, it's only 1 week. In fact, the only thing that maybe worried me is whether Derek McInnes actually, like, can handle this. Like, it could be like quite embarrassing seeing a manager like covered in piss in his trousers. Do you know what I mean? Midway through a game, because that's where he's going. He's gonna combust. He might actually piss himself or shit himself. It's just the vibe is getting. His head's gone. But my head will be gone if Celtic don't step this up a wee bit. There's Engels. Is this his last game for Celtic? Who knows? I tell you what, if I was talking about who grabbing shots earlier, well, he's got two hands grabbing at his jersey there that the referee's not spotting. Do I want VAR to step in for that? No, probably not when it's outside the box. Not that it should change because a foul's a foul, but be consistent. Keep an eye on everything. Quite clearly, if you'd seen who with the sort of wee run-ins he'd had before, where he's grabbing the Dundee player's shot, he's slightly late. There's a bit of feistiness going on. Keep an eye on it. And there you are, the Dundee guy, both arms pulling at the jersey, and not one fuck given. Warren, are the rumours about Osasuna to KT trade? No, I don't think so, mate. I think it's all the bollocks, to be honest with you. Why would KT want to go to Osasuna? It's just nothing stories, mate. Nothing stories. The Johnson Everett one's real, though. Good goalkeeping, Sinisolo. I love that. Fucking made sure he left a bit in there when he gathered that ball there. Well done. Love that. Fuck them. Yeah, I like that. Hello, Mikael. He's watching us on Kick, because we're on Kick and we are on Twitch as well, because we're trying to get down with all the algorithms and all the websites that we can. Or they're not called websites anymore. What are they called? I don't know. The socials, whatever they're called. John W., this is guff. I tell you what, mate, it's not been great. Are Celtic playing anything different in terms of identity that Martin alluded to he wanted to implement? And I think there's an argument to say they're not. And if Martin isn't comfortable with this formation but sticking out because he's not got who he wanted, then I'm disappointed in that, because I still think it should be either made abundant, it should be made even clearer than the boat rocking incident that he did to get who, and be like, I don't want to play this formation. And I don't think I tell you what, Duran doesn't look the same player that he did in pre-season. I know pre-season you could say, well, I never read anything into that, but he doesn't look the same to me tonight so far. And who, well, we'll find out with him, mate. We'll find out. See, if it was 2-0, John, would you be saying that? And it could be 2-0, to be fair. It very much could be, if our new club record signing striker had actually scored the goals. I'm trying to sort this chair, man. Apologies. Yeah, it does look a bit like last season. I'm not going to lie to you there, mate, but that's because there's only 2 new signings in the team. We're playing last season's formation. One's not had a pre-season with us. Celtic this season, I've put that in my Read Celtic article today. catch up as a wee link below after the show. I need to get more reads on them, so if you're not reading them, fucking start reading them. But I'd said, when have you ever heard of Celtic doing a pre-season, John, and one new player experienced pre-season at Celtic? One. That's fucking diabolical. Casper, who, yes, he's played games for Bodo Glimt, but as someone alluded to earlier, they were on a plastic pitch, a different league. I want guys that are coming in to have actually experienced pre-season. I think it hampered Adamida when he returned to Celtic after his loan spell big time. Arnie Engels settled in a wee bit, but with a wee bit of a delay as well, to be honest. 75 in the chat. Can't thank you all enough. Gives a wee like, gives a share, thumbs down. Who cares? That's all good. I will try and get through the comments as well. Durham was very good through the middle. Patrick Kerrigan says, and I couldn't argue. I couldn't argue. I couldn't argue with that, and I couldn't agree more as well, Patrick. With that, you get both. Right, here we go. Chances. Right, who? Oh, flipped onto his left foot there instead, but the Dundee defender does well. Slides in, and what looked like a low shot actually curls or lobs over the bar. But yeah, I think it's an interesting point when I'm looking at that. Is Nygren very conscious that Casper Hugh's in the team there? I think Nygren of last season does just keep that on his right, does take an extra touch to further the ball towards his right, if that makes sense, and then gets his own shot away. I don't want Nygren to change his game for Celtic. I don't think he brings enough industry anyway. So what you're looking for him is numbers. He's a goal scorer from midfield because he's not shy in taking a shot. I wonder there if that's what can happen when you sign a star striker. Sometimes the teammates become extremely conscious that he needs fed for his and he needs service. But it's a corner for Celtic anyway. A deep cross coming in. I'm not quite sure who it was. But it's went out for a corner anyway for us. So let's see what we make of that. Arnie Engels over it. We'll certainly miss his deliveries this season because derided by many of our own fans, which frustrates me. In the sense of all he does is, 25 million for a guy who can only take set pieces. The big clubs don't pay attention to our players if they think they only do set pieces. It's us who are blinded by that and maybe being overly negative about some players. Here's Casper out wide now at the back of that corner. He's done well enough. Celtic try to recycle it just now. There we go. Cal McGregor dinks it over. Battling to win the second ball back. But Dundee have done enough. Cal McGregor continues his press. Dundee have dealt with that really well. Really well, fucking hell. Annoyingly, but they have. So look at the chat. Yes, signings aren't in quick enough. We also don't sign in depth. They only sign if players leave. That's doing my head in, John. Do you know that? I'm glad you brought that up because do you know something? Even for an optics point of view, if we all think that Arnie Engels is going to leave, or I should say, Arnie Engels is going to leave, why not just sign Bauer for the 4 million that was originally was? Some are saying it's now up to 7, but that's Paderborn's gift to do that. The less time they've got to find a replacement for a key player of theirs, the more they're going to bump the price up. Oh, chances! Young! He fannies about, doesn't he? Don't even... There's not a penalty in that, mate. He's fanning about. There's too much going on in his head. You've got to be a killer. Frustrating. But yeah, I mean, from the optics point of view, John, what you would do is you would sign Bauer, then you lose Engels, and you'd go, Celtic, even though they might, for a day or so, they've strengthened the department. Then you've got on top of that, if Engels goes, we were proactive in our succession planning. Chance for Dundee here as they break into the Celtic box to get a shot away and earn a corner. On the clock, we're on 31 minutes. Danny, I really like the 60th anniversary top, but we'll buy it and vintage in a few years. It's minted, mate. I think that and the vertical striped away kit are both minted, mate, to be perfectly honest with you. Why wait, though? Just go get it. Just go get it on DHK. If Celtic are going to carry on like this, I think they're not another penny campaign. Has to be strong. It doesn't look, going by the comments I was getting, the voice note I got from the judge who's outside the ground right now, he says Superstore's absolutely rammed. So it's not as deafening or as impactful maybe as people are making out or speculating. Irishman and Poto Yang is much better defensively since he shot at Ibrox. That annoyed the life out of me when he shot at Ibrox. Oh, jeez, oh, that header for Dundee looked like it was looping in. Jeez, oh. Sinister looked kind of grabbed that very casually there. Hey, come on, Celtic. CC viewing the ball, just coming up the halfway line. There's now Tierney inside the Dundee half. Yang back to Tierney, but we've crept a wee bit further forward. Who's going to do the decisive pass now? Who's going to make one that fucking splits the defence? Who's going to take a brave ball on? Yang. Fucking nothing pass. An absolute nothing pass, mate. 2-1. Didn't know what to do. Toe pokes at about 4 yards, gets intercepted. He's a... Right, come on now. Johnston. Early ball. Well done. Okay, doesn't meet someone, but do you know what? He's trying to get the ball into the box. He's trying to make decisive. He's trying to influence outcomes, make a decisive plays there. Yang was so hesitant. Another early ball in there for another experienced player like KT. Cleared by Dundee well, but again, ask questions of them. That's all we want. Tambo, if 99.8% people renewed their season tickets, why shouldn't people buy the merchandise? Well, I think there's a lot more that tags along with losing a season ticket, mate, than there is a football strip. No? I think they're completely two separate things, to be honest with you. I think losing a seat that you've had for 20 years matters a hell of a lot more than an Adidas training top, but each to their own, mate. I don't think they're the same thing, though, at all. Right, Duran, beat your man. He does, and it's the second. He gets his ball across with the second defender as they just looked like they were nearly going to double up on him. He blocks the cross for Duran. Over goes Engels to take it in, and my wee light just seems to run out there. What's happening here? There we go. Right, okay, Celtic. Come on, get the ball in the box, Negan, or have a pop. No, he's getting dragged out. They recycle it again. Dundee very well marshalled and organised, to be fair. Yeah. Throwing Celtic. Still in a very good area. Engels try to do 1-2s. Still at the edge of the box just now. Celtic's. Is it one too many passes right now? I knew it. It goes out. Celtic just. It's just silly wee passes there where someone's got to take responsibility. Get the ball in the fucking box. Fuck me, man. Frustrating. 1888 doesn't see the difference. Not another penny should apply to everyone. You cut the head off the snake, not the tail. I think it's completely different, mate. I think the emotional attachment we spoke in the COVID years about what people are missing out on by not being able to go to the football. Family histories. Oh, chances. Oh, fuck. Come on. Yang. Fanning about. Callum McGregor. Edge of the Dundee box. Back to Tierney. He'll get a ball in. Surely. Back out. CCV about 10 yards out the side of the box. Now it's Duran again. On that right hand side. Cutting in his left. McGregor. Still looks too many tiny wee short passes. Good ding! Oh, chances! He's missed! Arnie Engels. Do you know what? It was a header without conviction. He's went completely for placement. I understand that, but oh, he's just fucking got his angles wrong. His angles wrong. Dear oh dear. That's a pity. That's a real pity. Paul McGowan, thanks for the watch along tonight, mate. I couldn't make the game tonight due work. I'm currently sitting in my lorry at a depot in Dartford. My pleasure, mate. We'll be doing one. As I said, we're trying to commit to about 75 to 80% of games this season. I will be joining you. Whether it's a beer in hand, whether it's a ball for in hand, I will be giving my shitey wee takes on all things Celtic. And one of the good things about it as well will be that I'll happily debate any other Celtic matter whilst we're watching the game as well. So it'd be like sitting with your pal in the stands. Or maybe there's some that you don't like sitting beside you in the stands. Whatever it might be. Cross goes in. Absolute wayward. That's hopeless. That's not good enough. Arnie Engels looks disappointed. Not as gutted as me, mate. That's just shite. If you want to go to West Ham, son, good luck with that, because these guys, they signed £20 million, £25 million players to a penny. You'll be on the bench with crosses like that, son. Sort it out and misses like that with that header. Fuck me. Listen, that's fair enough. I don't think it's excuses. I don't have a season ticket, so I'm not making excuses for anyone. I totally understand the emotional attachment, though, to a seat compared to a seat at Celtic Park that you could lose, that was maybe gifted to you, or you've sat always beside your dad for the last 10 years, compared to a tracky top and a jersey. No, I've got to agree to disagree, but it's fair debate, 1888, and that's what we like on the bus. We don't all have to agree to have different views and get them aired on here, because that's what it's about. Season tickets get to pump in hundreds of pounds. It's not that they get to, and I think a lot of the time it's begrudgingly. But maybe that's Celtic holding that checkmate over a lot of players. Tambo TV, I'll be buying the new strips. Andy O'Neill tracky, fuck it. What did you make of the Martin O'Neill top the other week? It was minted, man. He was wearing like a retro Adidas sort of round neck number. He's not wearing it tonight, I don't think, but it was fucking cool as anything. I don't think I've ever wanted to wear clothes that a 75-year-old man's wearing, but it looked the bollocks. Celtic just aimlessly prodding that forward there. They win a throw-in around the halfway line, but yeah, see you all in all right now. 40 minutes on the clock. Uninspiring stuff that we're watching right now, guys, to be perfectly honest with you. I've not been taken in by this whatsoever. Right, chances. In goes. Oh, it's a great ball. So, was that Tierney? Yeah, it was. I thought that's brilliant from Arnie Engels. Absolutely superb. You'll get your game at West Ham with passes at that, son. Absolutely brilliant. Just when you thought he'd fucked it, he turns back on his left, takes two Dundee players out the game by doing so, and that ball in behind the Dundee right back, absolutely outstanding. KT meets it, and then who I thought was Don Goodman in goals there. The Dundee keeper Goodman saves it. Well done. Far more like it though. Corner. Cleared easy. Here's Negrin again. Celtic right now, midway into the Dundee half. Knocking it about side to side. A bit of horseshoe stuff going on the right. Yep. Celtic have played too many passes as well. I think meaningless ones. So far, I don't think there's any getting away for that, guys, to be perfectly honest with you. $11 million striker, we can't get the ball anywhere near him. This was the fear, says Mark McKeown, and I hear you, mate. To be fair, he's missed 2 gilt-edged chances as well, so there's 2 ways you can look at it, pal. But no, I know what you mean. He's bar the first 12 minutes. What involvements has he had? A couple of semi-wrestling matches with Dundee players. You'd expect all that, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, been pretty poor so far in terms of the supply that he's been given. 1888 proven strikers that can't get any service. Great. We have to be real though. Duran is playing on the right. It is just simply Casper who there was 2 bits of service that he was given, as I say, and he failed to capitalise, sadly. Mike, I think we'll see a change of tempo second half after Martin has a word. It sounds very last season, doesn't it? Sounds very last season. Dundee now. Oh, I thought they won a free kick there. We've got away with that. Fucking hell, Celtic. I thought that was a foul outside our box. Happy days. Alright, we're nearly at the 45 now. Celtic just try to push up again. On the right side, Johnson using his strength. Yeah, good shielding, mate. Well done. Excellent play. Where's the impetus though? Where's the urgency? I just keep knocking about. I tell you what, Yang has been fucking dreadful. I'm not convinced by him anyway. Everyone knows that. Maybe I do look at him through a harsher lens. If he tries to just step over the thing, you're just not good enough to do them, mate. You're not capable. You're not got the balls for it either, son, to be perfectly honest with you. Anyway, that's half time. I am going to take a wee quick refreshment break. When I say that, I'm just mean I'm going for a piss. I will just play the opening credits just to pass the time. If some of you are back when I come back, happy days. We'll do the second half soon. Thank you. If that works.
The seagulls followed Trawler. It's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Don't back down, double down. Don't back down, double down.
Hey, how we all doing? It is half-time, Celtic 0, Dundee 0. I think very much a carbon copy of the sort of games we were watching last year, if I'm totally honest with you. We've not seen anything new, I've not seen anything exciting. I've not seen anything that makes me think the changes Martin was alluding to are being implemented in any way, shape or form. Yeah, frustrating. Just frustrating in general right now because there was a chance of that dream start for the record boy, Casper Who, and sadly, he absolutely scarfed his first chance. His next one, he just got his angles wrong, and then Engels got his angles wrong with his close header that went just by the post. Other than that, have Celtic been a dominant force in this game? I would say that they're definitely they've been the better side. Dundee still look like they can threat. Celtic are not comfortable enough for me to be allowing the free kicks, the corners, or potential free kicks, as it were the case, but the long throw-ins in the corners that they're allowing Dundee right now. So we are under the cosh. Make no two ways about it. What's everyone else's thoughts in the chat? Let's have a wee look at that. Teresa Lyle comes in. Great to have you on. Yang steps up in January. We've seen this many times with Teresa where maybe it's not January, maybe Yang's stepping down again because he's got his new deal. I think I can't imagine players do it deliberately. But we've seen so many times, haven't we, where players just seem to, I don't know, they get a new deal and they maybe subconsciously become complacent. Is that fair to me to say that? I don't know. I really don't know. Danny, something needs to happen. Of course it does, mate. 1888, first game's always a cunt, to be honest. Of late, it has been. I think the ones that stick out, obviously last year was Luke McCowan's goal. Callum McGregor had one disallowed. I think Rodgers, first season, I think it was, David Turnbull scored. Was it a 1-0 win then as well? I've not got the date in front of me, so I'm not entirely sure. Here comes in a new commenter, and it's Mr. I don't even know how to say that, mate, but I'll just read out your comment anyway. So many of these guys, look, they've never seen their teammates before or played together. We can easily not win this game. 100%, mate. That's why I wasn't relaxed, shall we say. And by the way, if you've just joined the chat, I know you might not be aware, but that's why I wasn't relaxed when Who missed his first opportunity, nor his second. It's not because I'm not giving the guy every chance and don't still have every faith he's going to do well for us, right? I do. But those chances mattered still to Celtic the same way they do, whether it was Who or whether it was Doctor Who that was going for them. It makes no odds. You could be at Celtic for 5 minutes or 5 years. Those opportunities need to go in the back of the net. We need to set the tone for this league as well this year. I'm not sitting chasing them all again this year. We need to set the tone. Both our rivals from last year have blinked already on day one. Wouldn't be like them. Rangers are notorious for being the worst chasers ever. No matter what version of them they seem to have, whether the 49ers Rangers, whether the Sevco Rangers, whether the... Well, it doesn't make any odds. They don't like chasing. So let's make them fucking chase. I don't like Hearts will be in that race, but yeah, we could easily not win this game. I've went a wee bit of a tangent with that, but thank you for your comment, mate. And if you want to tell me in the chat how to pronounce your username, I would be more than happy to do that because I don't like being rude. Sean's in. Looked really uncoached at times, alarming. I mean, I don't get how they could be... How can you be uncoached? Just look at that chance there for Tierney again, which I didn't kind of do my wee recap there when I came back on. That was a fantastic pass by Ernie Engels. But yeah, what do you mean uncoached? I mean, Martin will never be part of the coaching bit, so we can't get caught up in that. But I struggle with Fozzie, Maloney and McManus not coaching the side as such. Is the formation suiting the players that we've got? I'm really not sure on that one. Mr. A will do. I'm down with that, man. No worries. I've got Liam McAvoy and Tough Watch. Need some new faces, for fuck's sake. Liam, we're broken records going on about that, mate, because people, what they want to do after that is they struggle. They struggle that you could be having that point of view without it being some sort of angle for clicks or some sort of angle of negativity deliberately aimed at the club you support so much. None of that really makes sense to me. So yeah, I'm fully with you. What we do need is new faces. It's a fact. We might look happy with the two guys you've brought in so far, but we're not happy with the overall work. That's fair comment, mate. I'm glad you've made it and it's not me already going down that road at half time. The Kieran McFadden comes in. Good to have you on, mate. I hope you're well. That first half has shown me more signings in the door. Let's be honest, some of the start 11 won't be here by the end of the window. Exactly what I said at the top of the show, Kieran. And great to have you on, by the way, pal. Hope you're doing good. Because when I look at the lineup, Johnson's going to be gone, Ingles is going to be gone. That's a guarantee. McGregor, surprisingly, is going to stay. Yang, I don't want to be part of the first team either. So that'd be three, in my opinion, that wouldn't be part of it. And it's going to be just their skills as direct shootout. And there's an argument to say Celtic should be looking for a goalkeeper to be either pushing Sinisalo or actually ahead of Sinisalo. So, yes, you're absolutely spot on. There's players that won't be there by the end of the window. We do get this year on year. I mean, I seen footage from our opening day of last season today on the old X, and it was Adam Ida missed an opportunity. I was like, fuck, I forgot he played for us last season as well. Like, you just forget at the start. It's weird. It's weird when you see him in like the last season's strip, if that makes sense. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to one wee more intermittent break for about, give me 60, 70 seconds. And then we will get stuck in for this second half. 75 years with us. In the meantime, give us a wee like, give us a share, hit the subscribe button, hit the bells, do the good stuff, because pushing those buttons helps massively for the algorithm. It helps us massively in the channel, and we want to go as big as we can, if possible. Don't worry about it if not.
The seagulls follow trawler. It's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Don't back down, double down. Don't back down, double down.
Thank you for your patience there. Right. Second half. What do you do at half time right now? Changes do you make? Where do you make them? Who do you make? Who do you bring on? Who do you take off? If any. Do you think it's been working so far? I don't. Do you change the system? There has to be something that twigs here with Celtic. Or is it just the old give them the rollicking approach and try and get that extra energy from the same group and the same system? I'm not entirely sure. Let's go through the comments once we wait on the adverts finishing up and we get ready to watch the hoops for the second half. Craig White, get Ingles off in case of injury. Get the money and run. He's the biggest myth to ever wear the jersey. He's rotten. 25 million just doesn't make sense. I don't know. Like, I don't think he's rotten, mate. I don't think he's rotten at all. I don't think he suits the system we play either, but he does have moments where I can see where you're coming from to an extent, but yeah, I don't think he's the biggest myth ever to play for Celtic, if I'm being honest, Craig. But, obviously your name's not Craig, but you know what I mean. CFC Ricky. What's happening, Ricky? 2 months to sort out the mess of last season. I know, mate. Yet here we are, still terrible, and still have no style of play. What do they work on at training? You're the next one to come in. Talking about the training side of things. It's interesting because if that's how people are viewing it, that everyone's entitled to the view, and there's no smoke without fire. I respect people's views on the tactical side of it because they're probably better than mine. I think I've got a good handle on a lot of the things at Celtic and what of the bullshit that goes on. The tactics side of it, I've got to bow to other people's fucking more informed knowledge than mine at times, to be honest with you. I've got takes on it, yeah. But I think when I'm seeing a couple of comments saying it doesn't actually look like the training's either existent or what do they work on training, which is kind of alluding to the same factor, then I've got to take that on board, to be fair. And I'm not entirely sure, mate. I don't think we're playing the formation Martin wants to play. I don't think Martin's signed enough players to get to the formation he wanted to play. However, what then happens is the tail wags the dog, and because you don't think the players are good enough, you're going to pander to a system that you think suits them, or do you just play the system you want, and if you have to play the odd, maybe out of vogue player every now and then to accommodate in that system, there needs to be bringing in someone to accommodate the system that wouldn't normally be in your first 11 plans. I don't know. But he's had the time now to make the team look like his own. The onus at the end of the day comes to the manager to push that board. We all know the board's a problem. Don't sign a new deal. I don't say at the weekend just there that his exact words were, I still have faith in the board. Those ones will come back and haunt you, Martin, if you're pandering to what they want and you're pandering to what they do and you're not being decisive and strong enough. I think he rocked the boat to get the Who signing. I feel like it's all went a bit quiet there, and maybe he's finding out now that it actually would take the resignation for those fuckers to fuck off or any sort of real change at Celtic. They might just be pacifying him and thinking that'll do. But we'll see what happens second half. It'll be interesting to see how Martin's talk as went down at half time as he walks out the tunnel there just now at my end. Let me all know where you're at in the chat. Are we all watching the Dundee team walking out right now? Let me know. Yvonne, change the system. I get you, Yvonne. I can see why that would be the big draw to do it. I really can. There's Martin sitting back in the dugout, sitting with Shomalori, who I don't know, he definitely does want to look like Roberto Martinez, eh? Can I say that? Yeah, why not? He does. He does want to look like Martinez. Celtics kickoff. Here we go. Come on! Merzuno, there's people on other channels praising Yang. Oh, piss off. Merzuno, name and shame them. The Bhoycie bus your free expression, mate. Because that is embarrassing. Celtic knocking it about the back. Are they going to play with a bit more urgency, a bit more zip? It kind of looks like they are already, even though they're still knocking about in the same areas. It just looks like they're a wee bit more on their toes. But the passes have still looked similar so far. But they're certainly doing little wee jogging steps in their feet when they get the ball. Oh, instantly. Into the box. Good. Back out. Tierney hooks that ball in. Unlucky. Do you know what? Great effort there for Tierney because that wasn't on. What was on was passing it back to Yang. And I agree with you, Kieran. Don't do that. Do it yourself. Spot on, my boy. Unfortunately, it just never came off. Elvis. Prancing about his cardigan. I used to think him and Paul Hartley looked like Serge and Tom for Kasabian back in the day. He looks like an old man now. It's weird. Dundee now try to get forward. Celtic nipping it in the bud. Good ball there for Trusty. Really good ball. But it was to Yang. Yang's twice now giving it back to Tierney already. He don't want no smoke, mate. He doesn't want no smoke. If he's not comfortable on the left, boo-hoo. Kimacata Vickers tries to scissor one through. Just that type of pass there was just reckless. Kimacata Vickers, just not what you'd have seen, dare I say it, under Ange Ball for CCV. You just wouldn't have seen him do that. That's your coaching thing, I suppose, that you're saying in the chat, you know? Mark Kerry's in. Great to have you on, mate. And thanks always for being such a true supporter of the channel, mate. We really appreciate it. It's the hope that kills us. Come on, Celtic. Prove us wrong. Too right, my man. Too right. Right. There's Yang. He jigs, and then he goes back to the centre-back. Callum McGregor now. Horseshoe football at its best right now we're getting for Celtic. Now it's Duran. Don't you fall in that trap, son. We step over. Wants to beat his man. They send out a second man to him, and he has to revert to the horseshoe. That's because it was a second man that came across to him. So he's obviously looking like more of a threat to Dundee than the likes of the leader of the gang is. Oh, I don't think that was the right pass there. Celtic knocking it about confidently. We dink over the top, but I think that was hopeful rather than aimful. Throwing though, dangerous area. I would have said if that was Dundee in the first half. So yes, we do have possession of a dangerous area, I suppose. Tambo TV Kilma keeps going centre back, and he's Rodri. He's not quite Rodri. I think they are a bit lax though, you know, trusting and maybe CCV to an extent, to be honest, as well, Tambo. But we can't be. I can be. I should say Tambo too. You know, bias in my views because I love CCV. Well, both him and Trusty both look a wee bit just lax at times on the ball. You know, the game will come to us. You know, right? Dangerous area now. Come on, Duran. Make something happen, son. Beautiful little flick for Johnston. See that? That is the difference. That's where you get a bit of, as Brendan would love to say, quality. Well done there, Duran. I love that. Oh, left boot. A wee scoop over the top to try and feed Johnston. But it's imaginative, it's inventive, it's confident as well. Do you know that? And it goes against the grain of how we've played so far. Camilo Duran, that's more like it. I need more of that for you, son. I know you're not playing where you want to play. I think that's the reality. But notwithstanding that sort of inventive skill and execution is going to help us in the second half big time. There's Dundee players falling about the place rather than getting the ball. They'll look to the referee. Fuck off. Ah, terrible pass there up towards Casper Who. Just dreadful. Brilliant press in there. Now is a chance. Let's show your quality. I swear to God, that is pathetic. Oh! They've closed in the keeper. Oh, it's been a scrappy little 60-second spell there. It didn't have to be from a Celtic point of view. They then nearly made up for it by closing down the goalkeeper. CKT there, he was loath to go back to the goalie there with his pass. He was wanting to force Cameron Carter Vickers to be the one to take it. I'm not going back to the goalie there, you could tell. He's got to this time though. It's clearly been a direct instruction for Martin. I'm sick of watching you going back to the goalkeeper or the furthest outfield player back. Here we go now. Here's Engels cutting down the left. Yang, what can you do, son? Show me. You turn back and get to Engels. Good idea. McGregor. Now back out to Yang. Yep, he gets someone else to do the ball for him. And it's KT! Goal! Get in there, Negrin! Yes! Get in there! You're a fucking dancer, man. By the way, I'm going to give Yang credit because Yang had no faith in his own ability to be the man to play the final balls. Leave it to players of proper ability. Sky already doing the VAR checks with their replays. Piss off. It's a beautiful ball by KT. What did he get last year? Double figures in the old assists. And then, yeah, brilliant header. I just looked there, by the way, to the comments, and I know a lot of you will be new to the chat. Luckily, I never seen it. As you know, my eyes are fixed on the screen. But if there's a goal, I know it's hard. I know I'll probably not win this debate, but if there's a goal and I've not celebrated it yet, it'd be great if you didn't comment yet. But KT, you're absolutely right. In comes Inch I-Core 1888. What a ball by KT. Couldn't agree more with you, pal. Absolutely fantastic. Dundee straight in the attack though. Space down the left. Space down the left. Brilliantly closed down. Well done. That's CCV at his best. Danish is now in the chat. Yes. Great to see you. Get in there, mate. You're right. We needed that, by the way, boys. We needed that. Regina Mund. Give that guy a break, for heaven's sake. Nobody's played well. Come on, Regina. You've watched games. Have you always been balanced in your view? Of course you've not. You've got to have a wee bit of... You've always got to have a wee bit of ire in the team towards someone more than others. I think that's how you watch football. But yeah, Yang's been pissed, so that's the one I'm focused on. Lofty ball in by Dundee. They win the flick on, but it's straight in the hands of Sinasola, who urgently races the edge of the box. Joe Hart-esque there. It's only a 3-yard roll he does, but Celtic just looking a wee bit more purposeful. Martin O'Neill working his magic at half-time, but do you know what? See the last 3-4 years, has anyone else not just been sick of Celtic having two teams? A first half team either being brilliant and a second half shite, or a second half being shite and the first half being brilliant. You see, we're like that under Brendan as well. We've got to be honest. Right, forcing the ball out wide right now. Come on, Duran. That wee flick over the head just seemed to spur a wee bit of confidence in the team. Another clever pass. Cutbacks. Oh. Duran looking tidy though, isn't he? He just looks tidy. He looks a player oozing in confidence, and to me, just someone that I would love to see. I would love to see playing up front alongside Casper Who. There has still been the same element of horseshoe football to an extent from Celtic, but it just seems to have been with a greater urgency and potency about it. Brilliant there, closing down. Now there's space. KT again. Corner kick. Well done, because why? He goes for the early ball. He wants to influence outcomes early. He's not sitting waiting on his teammates to do it. He's got the courage, his convictions to go, I'll put the ball in. And of course, his confidence should be high because his cross there was absolutely fantastic. Negrin onto the goal scoring, off the mark in terms of goal scoring as well is a big thing, because he's someone who really surprised us with the volume of goals that he got last year. Of course, you've got to temper it with, whilst it's still August and the window's open, we just can't be losing him as well now. Brilliant return! Oh. Unlucky, it's Duran again. He's got a bit of magic about him. Very inventive flick again there from the set piece. Really like that from him. It's clever. He's left his man for dead. Yeah, the ball across the box. Crowded out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 Dundee players in their own 6-yard box there, by the way. 7. That's fucking mad. Charles Smith, just behind your goal. Regina, no, Russell, I don't. That's okay. We can all be different though, Regina. As long as you give your takes, I'll happily read them out on the channel, because that's the balance I would like to bring. It can't just be binary. I can't agree with everything everyone else says, but I'm more than happy to bring up your different take on how you're watching the game as well. I think that's got just as much of value as the takes that I'm giving whilst watching live. So thank you for being on the bus, pal. Danny, unfortunately, there's always arses want to waste it for others. What's that referring to? I'm not entirely sure. Danny, we're grown up for, so I'm sure they'll understand to keep quiet for a few seconds before you see the goal. I think we had this before. I said folk don't really know. I think a lot of the folk that said goal have never maybe been in the chat before either. And do you know what? You can't help it sometimes. If you're part of a live group like this, you're just going to be typing on the keyboard, go! And I get that. I get it. If we could keep it to a minimum until I've celebrated, brilliant. If not, no one's losing sleep. You know what I mean? It's all okay. As long as Celtic are winning. Honestly, that is the main thing for me. Ali, Duran, starting to play a bit, love it. I'm so in your boat, mate. And I'm going to go back to Regina in a weird way. No one's played well. Well, there's 2 wingers on the park right now. I would love just to be back, like, not to fall out. Please don't think it's like that. This is not my style. But just for balance, Duran and Yang tonight. One's on one wing, one's on the other. I think there's a big difference, to be honest with you. A big difference. And I don't think either of them, to be fair, are playing in the favourite position. Either. Danish back in. This one in, one out transfer policy is a disgrace. This bowls we take the piss for. Danish, you've been on the Bhoycie bars for so long now. You are well versed, mate, in the chat that we have on here. You know it. You absolutely know it to a T that the transfer policy of Celtic is non-existent. There is no strategy. It's complete incompetency. It's balance sheets before team sheets. Corner kick one there. Excellent. But yeah, mate, I'm fuming with what we've done so far in the window, because whilst I'm allowed to be excited by the players, are they trying to hoodwink us because the level of quality of said couple of players has went up, that they're doing more this year, that they've changed, that this Leopard's changed its spots, and you look at Mika Bauer deals, you look at Sarachi deals, and you go, oh, piss off. Do you know what I mean? You look at the Hassan deal, the player in Italy, the Algerian winger whose name's escaping me. Look at all that. They ain't changed their spots. And when you see Johnson and Engels sold before the Champions League qualifier, you'll really realise those spots are fucking not even in permanent marker, mate. They are cemented onto Celtic right now, whilst those numpties run the show. Oh, yes, my man Chris Kersing just joined Bhoycie. The first half looked poorly coached. Mate, it's interesting because I know you're a coach yourself, and I've got to be honest, that is exactly the view I'm getting of 2-3 now. I'm not as well versed on the coach side of it as especially someone like yourself, who I know you have a fantastic record at youth level. Duran's never a winger. I get that, but you know what? He's made things happen even out there, which gives me real hope for when we see him up top, and where he prefers to play. Hopefully, he's part of a dynamic partnership duo with who I think will get the best. I don't think who looks like a striker who should be as isolated as he is either, to be honest. He certainly doesn't seem to be getting any of the service he would be looking for in a side. But it's early days with all that, and I get that. But I think Simon Wood says, Duran, is it missing the other Duran? Well, you should know, because is it not Simon who is the singer of Duran Duran? I think I'm right anyway. Could be wrong. Give me 2 seconds, just getting the lighting sorted. There we go. We attempted flick there. I didn't think that was coming off, mate, to be honest. Who again? I mean, This time. Very confident with who. That's a good point, Ali. Once the play opens up a bit, we'll come alive. That's when we come alive. I think the impetus as well is very important as well. I don't know if impetus is a word, but the impetus that we show is so crucial as well, Ali, isn't it? And when we've stepped up a gear, funnily enough, that means the play opens up a bit because you're stretching the opposition more. As I say, folk like Chris Gerther in the chat can well verse me on that one, so I'm not. I will bow to their knowledge all the time, but as a football fan, I feel like I'm onto something there when you're going. And Simon says intensity. Definitely, mate. It's just it's some coincidence that the game opens up and Celtic seem to be playing with a bit more purpose and a bit more aggression in their passes. Pace. John Collins' favourite word. Tempo. Right, here we go again. Good passing now. First time passing. Get Celtic to the edge of the box. Duran now on the ball. Edge of the box. Crosses left foot. But see, he wants to get his delivery done early. He just collects that beautifully to recycle the play. I'm happy with him. That's a good Celtic signing, I can tell already. Outside the box. Oh, good tackle. Oh, Gavin Carter Vickers, old school. But Dundee still break. Oh, he's going to leave him for dead. Oh, Trusty, well done. The pace of the Dundee striker in those initial 10-15 yards was unbelievable there. Trusty's obviously got a bit more pace. That slight longer margin. Tell you what, a Dundee player looked like he was away there. Maybe it's just me talk shite. He looked nippy there though, but Trusty, well done. Well fucking done. Hey, 1-0 Dundee are still a threat, by the way. Ali, who says you're Trusty can't defend? Mate, I'm a huge fan of Trusty, as you know. I do think he's world class, a world beater. I think he's Champions League level. I think his best games have came for Celtic when we've been up against it. I've liked what I've seen. I personally play my head of scales, but I don't think there's much in it though, to be honest. Oh, well done. Just lost it. Celtic right at the top, their top right wing right now. But Dundee very composed when they're under pressure on the ball. Got to give them their due. Tierney wins a header, but Dundee have got the ball forward 50 yards out with one long hoof and give themselves ease the pressure on themselves, and of course give themselves an opportunity to knock on Celtic's door, which at 1-0 is still a vulnerable one. Daresh. A reputation as the shambles with other clubs in Europe because of their incompetent board. Dundee, sorry, Daresh, mate. Just a bit panicky here with the Dundee threat. They put a big lofty tie, but tell you what, that was nearly Ronaldinho World Cup 2002 free kick-esque. Not what the Dundee player was intended there whatsoever. It was a terrible cross. But probably only finished about 3 or 4 yards away from the far post of the Celtic goalkeeper, Sinisillo. I mean, get my head around that. Cameron Carter-Vickers playing it to the goalkeeper to dink it up to the halfway line. What's that all about, guys? I mean, there's still I'm going to go back to talking about when there's guys in the chat, probably rightfully so, saying about the coaching levels here that Celtic seem to be showing, or what coaching level Celtic seem to be playing to, and I see the centre back passing it across the 6-yard box as the goal kick to the goalkeeper to dink it up. Absolutely bizarre. Oh, there was Johnson trying to force something. Is this his last game for Celtic? Who knows? Dundee decide to roll out. They feel they can play up here. We dink up the top. Ocky's looking for that ref. Fuck off. Good. Win those second balls. Chances! Yang! Tell you what, far more like it, son. He had space, he had time, he did the right thing, he went for a shot, and he proper tested the goalkeeper there. He actually makes a really decent one-handed save. Let's look at that again. Yeah. That's going in far corner. Let's see it for this angle. Yeah, that's going in. That's a good save. Really, really handy save. Yang, far more like it, mate. You get an opportunity, be decisive with it. Create outcomes, influence outcomes yourself. You're more than capable when you're seem to decide your confidence is speaking. He's been really frustrating tonight, but that was a bit of quality from Yang. And exactly what I want to see, that direct approach. Kiska's back in. Loving your chat, mate. Credit to Dundee. As their defending is very good. They're not giving us space, but when we play fast, they can't handle it. And I get that. And that's what's created the game, the optics of the game, looking like it's a more open game. Here's Yang now. Look his first touch there, because he's just tested that goalkeeper. Even though he stroked the ball back to Kieran Tierney there, he's such a confidence player. Kavakata Vickers, a mainstay of horseshoe football, you could argue. Gets it to Duran, the most exciting player in the park by a country mile for me, guys. I don't know if you agree. McGregor and Negrin, just shoot, mate. Fuck it. So you're good at. Oh, it opened up! It opened up, but Kieran Tierney was on his right foot, and you just wish at times, don't you? That is where you see a Casper Who getting the ball. But it was our left back. But KT, again, such a decisive player, someone that just goes, fuck this. We need to make things happen. I'm getting myself involved. And I love that about KT. As you say, Ellie, more like it. Danish, hoping to see Osmond get some game time. Do you know something? It'd be loath to Martin, though, to take Who off. I think when we're 1-0, and by the way, you're going against the board here. This is the board that he has rocked the boat on, right? It's a fact. One of the struggles you've got with that is you've got to still answer your paymasters. And I know everyone can talk about Martin's bollocks and his steely personality and all that stuff, but the reality is, whether you like it or whether you don't, Martin's then got to justify why the fuck are you taking off for 11 million player? Say it went 1-1, but who's been took off? That's the last time we backed you with an 11 million pound player. He just tried a flick there, and they're just not in sync whatsoever. He's a partner up there with him, and I think that partner's on the park. He's just not chances. Oh, can't let it run across his body. Here's Duran. What are you going to come up with now, son? Come on. And that we recycle again. Still that element of doubt in Celtic's play. Nowhere near enough conviction. Tierney, early when he gets... See, this is what I love. He gets the ball. It's a touch out for him. Let's test them. It might not be his best cross the ball, but he wins a corner from it. He plays differently. See, when the camera went on him there as well, incidentally, he looks a wee bit like, now when he's walking off the ball, he's almost hobbling. It could be nothing. Damien Duff used to do it. I don't know if you remember. He just always looked like he was kind of half dragging his right leg along as he walked. Weird. But brilliant for KT anyway. Short corner. McGregor! Oh, unlucky, son. Don't mind it. Don't mind it. Bhoycie, Celtic are crap. Do you know what? I reckon you're just probably far too young to be here. So I'm just going to ban you straight away. He wasn't being even rude. Just Celtic are crap. Rangers are much better. But I don't want him getting a pile on if I'm right, and I think that a pile on after loads of shite in the emojis. But I wouldn't want, if he is a young lad just going by that rhetoric, then getting a pile on for the chat. I know the chat's good in here in general, but you know what I mean. K9 CFC comes in. That's a great point. More signings, or it's no UCL again. And that is it, mate. That's it. It's as simple as that. We got a tough draw today. The Austrian champions. I don't think it should be on paper, by the way, a tough draw. A team that's won the league for the second time in their life. Long throw there by Dundee, by the way, cleared by Celtic. But yeah, I don't think on paper Celtic have won 14 out of 15 last Scottish titles against a team who's won the second title in their history. Oh! Good pressure for who there? I don't think it should be as difficult as what I feel it will be, if I'm being completely honest with you, mate. But it will be. It's us. It's just what happens. That was a terrible clearance. Dundee, so much time between two of them there to bring that ball down in the centre of the park. Absolutely embarrassing from us. Come on. It's got to be better. A good pass again. Dundee knocking about confidently here. They know they're still in this match. That's the worry. Who's doing the flicks? Oh, for fuck's sake. Why is Trusty out wide left? That's Yang. Why is Trusty out wide left? What's he doing? Idiot. K9's back in. Left back, goalkeeper, centre back. Kamakata Vickers looks injured already. I think he is just permanently injured now, mate. Do you know that? Jed Jemis and Hassan wide with Ho Duran as a front two would be good. Bauer also needed. I mean, what's happening with Jed Jemis and Hassan and Bauer now, mate? I mean, we're talking 14 days now and things like that we've been in talks with a lot of these players. I like the look of the boy at Torino, whose name escapes me. But again, they're not even look at these guys until they've sold more. It's just what they do. John, back in the chat. Does this team look like it would beat Lask? I'm not sure. Tambo, Bauer looks like he would add a lot to our midfield. Do you know what, John? Nothing's about adding to the midfield anymore. It's about replacing if and when we lose something from the midfield, isn't it? And that's not me taking away from your comment, by the way. Is it not refreshing that you can look at a player and go, he would add to our current midfield? Celtic don't, they go, what do you mean add? Someone's got to go. Oh, that ball is just inbound Bauer. Inbound who? Inbound Bauer. Right, Calmack on the ball, edge of the box. Come on. Out wide. Space. Ball goes in. Shite cross. Shite cross. No conviction whatsoever. No. Patrick had that to our midfield. So would I, mate. I'd had our left back and right back options. I'd had our goalkeeper options. I'd had our centre back options. Celtic don't want to do that. They want to. We've got to lose players for departments first. We wouldn't even proactively go, we've got a succession plan in place. He's available at his optimum price from our point of view, i.e., as in cheapness. So we're going to bring him in first with the anticipation that we're going to lose a player from that department by the end of the window. Celtic won't do that. They have to wait until they've sold a player. They will not factor in the Champions League qualifiers again. Balance sheets before team sheets. Profit before players. It's just embarrassing, man. Profit before product. That's a better way of putting it. Here go Dundee now. He's 1 against 4. I mean, he'll be doing well here. He'll be close to it. That's where the fridge comes in. He's on. That's brilliant. Cameron Carter Vickers. Thank you so much. Shitey clearance by says, so ball given straight back to Dundee. And let's just be real here. They're going back into this game, aren't they? Dundee are definitely going back into this. Yeah. Kevin, who are the subs? On the bench, we had Duhan, McKeown, Tenecti, Osmond, Oxley, Chamberlain, Hatate, Murray, Forrest, and Donovan. commentators are deluded that Forrest looks like he's going to be the one coming on. Yep, Warren, profits before trophies. Kenneth, we know we're going to lose 1 to 3 of our first team players. We're in need of incomings as soon as possible, really, or we're underperforming. Hey, I don't know if you mean the team tonight's underperforming. You mean Celtic as a football club in general has underperformed for 2 decades. Simple as. Don't be fooled by the domestic bliss era. That's all it is. It's a domestic bliss era where they've had every advantage, every advantage that you could imagine, basically, over your rivals. Yes, it's been great basking in that glory to a point, but when challenges have been presented to Celtic, i.e. the COVID season, i.e. European football, we have fell miraculously short. And if you think it's because the landscape's changed, Rangers in 3-4 years have been back up even at the top flight, we're in a Europa League final. So don't fall for the bollocks. They love domestic bliss. They don't want the folks to be in Europe because they don't know how to deal with real challenge. I'm just checking out what's happened here. Oh, they're just doing the Negrin header again. Great goal, that, by the way. Somebody's best. Still, see when he does all that and the oof to the fans. Remember that pissed off all the fans at first when Negrin was doing all that? I can't help but now feel he's made it his trademark celebration to kind of cover up the fact that he was doing it at first, going, come on to fuck yous, because he just didn't quite grasp why the fans were as angry as they were. Best play in the part for me is coming off, Camilo Duran. And also Yang comes off, Tenecti and Forrest on. I think that's brave taking Duran off. Forrest, I've got a lot of faith in. Tenecti, I've got no faith in. Forrest and Duran for the final 10 minutes. I like the sound of that. But if they feel his race is run and there's some plant pot in sports science telling him that's the way, there's not much you can do. What's this? Yeah, I thought it was offside. Fucking hell. Nearly gave me a heart attack, mate. Jeez, so. Where are we at minutes wise? We're 78, just approached the 79th minute. Or it'll be the 80th minute we're just approaching, I should say. Extra time wise, we're looking at 5 minutes. Yeah, still a long way in this at just 1-0. It's not been convincing, by the way. This hasn't been a pummeling by Celtic. You take the Casper Crew opportunities out it, and it's been pretty easy-peasy. I think if he does what he should be doing with those two, of course, it could have become whatever we wanted it to be. These are the fine margins. What we're saying in the chat. We do need fresh legs, I get that. Irishman in Porto, Yang injured. Charles Smith said just get him off. I've seen enough. I'm kind of more on Charles's mindset, if I'm honest. Patrick, I honestly believe we could have had a UEFA Cup Europa League in the cabinet if we'd been properly ran with ambition since well. Of course we could, mate. Of course we could have. Patrick, you are speaking my language, mate. Of course we could have, pal. Definitely. We've made the last 16 of the Champions League since it became that format twice since the tournament's existence. And yet we're world class in everything we do. And we've had more opportunities for the Champions League than... I don't know. Any club, maybe? Almost every club that's in it has a spell where they're outside their top 2 or their top 3 or their top 4 in the league at some point. We always have a chance at Champions League. Always. Fucking hell. Pathetic, eh? Just watch it now. Dundee begin to Look, just a wee bit of composure about them. They look patient in their play. There's time for them to build. There goes the cross. There's the flick on. Fucking hell, what a save. Oh, what is wrong with this fucking bunch, man? Tonight, don't you let him beat you, son. Tierney, good. Vista Celtic hoofing up to give him the ball back. Dundee completely believe, and rightfully so, believe they're going to do some bits here. Good tackle there again. That CCB is fucking best, mate. Well done. Similar type of head to the Dundee guy that Ingles had in the first half, where you don't need to do much, just need to get your Ingles right. Dundee player, though, unlike Arnie, got his right. And yeah, just watching it again, doesn't he actually even jump? He just stands, flicks it with his head, uses the pace of the ball, gets his fucking angles just nigh on perfect. A great save by Sinisolo, that. Very good. Negrin's off now. Another double substitution from Celtic. It's interesting. McCowan's on. Okay. Right, here we go. McGregor. Back to recycling it again, though. Just so quickly hard to do that, isn't it? Back to Sinisolo, who's... I keep confusing with Joe Hart, to be honest with you, tonight. He's in very identical. Oh, chances! Luke McCowan, early ball. Oh, tonight, he does not know. He does not know what to fucking do. God, man, he is so frustrating. Now there's chances. He's fucking this went wide. No. No. Oh, I thought that was the moment. I tell you what, this is interesting with who. I've liked the opportunities he's getting himself. Simon, who knew? Ali, come on, Casper. Let's keep behind him, though. I think that's what you're doing, of course. There's 3 chances. Fuck. Another night could be a hat trick in his debut. I think that one was tougher than Sutton's making it. He said he's got at the target. I think the physical battle's the hardest bit there. I don't expect it as simple as a slip. Cal McGregor, though. Oh, off the post. Forrest. I've seen him do that outside of the boot goal so many times. Oh. I'm getting a bit animated here. Apologies. Fucking hell, Celtic. Don't rue these. Brilliant by Callum, though, just deciding to grab the game by the scruff. Lovely effort. Hits the post, dipping. Do you know what? See anyone else doing that silly outside of the boot thing? I'd give him pelters for it. I really would. But Forrest is he's actually really comfortable doing that technique. It suits him for some reason. He's scored plenty doing it. Not on this occasion, sadly. Trudeau must go is in the chat. Hope you're good, mate. Yeah, Negrin got the goal, mate. It was a lovely header for Celtic. But we need a second. What are you going to do tonight this season? It can't be all powder puff. Good ball. What are you looking for me, Kevin? I'm confused. I need to get the tail in front of me. Celtic have really turned the screw there recently. However, see it fucking 1-0. This isn't enough. We do like scoring. Ian Crocker's right to point out the amount of goals we've scored from the 86th minute. I didn't quite catch how many, but it was a lot. Could we do it again? Yeah, Warren's saying he's feeling very nervous. Who is in the right place? That's something to build on. Yeah, I mean, I've got no doubt this guy's going to score an absolute barrel load for us. It's just, it's just a case of him busting that net as early as possible, mate. Just busting it as early as possible. And yeah, I mean, Patrick's referring to Larson, Dave. I think Larson played a lot deeper that day. He didn't have gilt edge chances either. But I think who's obviously showing there that he's going to have the predatory instincts to get in the right place, and he's got the goal record to suggest that he does normally score. Dundee have James Forrest's brother. He was at Hearts, was he not? They must have let him go. He's had a decent fucking career, man. Very decent career. Two Forrest, their parents must be proud as fuck. Two of them have done fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Kabaka Vickers slowly but surely creeping into the Dundee half. Now it's out wide. Now it's James Forrest. He still looks nippy, James. You know that? Pace-wise, I mean. Tenetke now. Oh, nice. Nice! Tenetke! Right. Listen, mate. He used to shoot the first time. He chooses to delay because he's so uncertain of himself. And then his option, rather than you bend that far corner, because he takes extra touch, it tells you, I'm just not sure of myself, I don't know what to do. He just fucking leans back, hits it as hard as he can. His pressure handling so far at Celtic has been diabolical. Bhoycie has been non-existent. Janetki's had the opportunities, and in that time he's shown what Bhoycie must be shown in training, and that is that there's not a set of bollocks fucking between his legs. And Dundee nearly score a worldie whilst I'm talking all that shite there. Fucking hell. Oh, I tell you, that's close. Oh, fuck's sake, man. We're fucking running so many risks here. There's 138 now in the chat. Can't thank you enough. I know it's not been like that all night, but thanks for joining. We'll be doing this 75, 80% of the games this year. I intend to do as many as I possibly can. Well, if it's me just talking shite, some of it might just be folk jumping in and slag us off. I'm down with it all. Right. I need for that shite. That's an elbow at the face. That's fucking that, mate. And look at his demeanour. He's animated. Trust me. He knows exactly what he's doing there. I don't like easy red cards given, but I know what I'm watching as well, eh? See the solo. Has anyone else been confused, just getting taken back to Joe Hart with his kit, his hair? I can't think it's Joe Hart. It's fucking weird. And he's probably not 70 stone like Casper Schmeichel. Casper who? See what I did there? Dundee breaking again. Oh, fuck. Then I get confident, Bhoycie, with your wee silly, wee shitey jokes. Yellow card, Engels. I thought it was going to be a thrown for Dundee, but it's actually a free kick. Engels trying to look as innocent as he can, but we need to see that one again for me. Patrick Kennedy's head and shoulders above Schmeichel. Hey, that's very clever, mate. Very clever. Well, here we go. Dundee have a free kick in almost the exact same place that Hearts did on the last day of the season when they needed a goal. Throw your goalie up at it. No? As well defended. Oh, fucking hell, Ryan Christie. Thank God for that, because I tell you what, Celtic shouldn't have given that free kick away. Celtic should be further out of sight than what they are. That's warning signs. Better teams punish you more with better quality in them. No offence to the boy who's absolutely skied his shot. You know, I don't know, we're still fucking in outer space right now, but honestly, it's been poor. Scrappy. Ball just in mid-air right now. Just getting bounded about, forehead to forehead. Celtic win it now, finally. The second ball. Is the free kick going to be given? No, it's not. Play on. A terrible pass by Engels. Fucking, we're trying to sell you for 25 million, mate. Not 25 pence, you stupid looking bastard. Come on. Kamikaze Vickers clearance only meets Dundee players twice. Dundee win a second ball again. Take your time. Oh my God. No one there, and he hoofs it like an absolute muppet. Celtic can't get a grip of the ball. The final whistle goes. I tell you what, we're lucky. Lucky towards the end there, man. Well, it finishes. It finishes, guys. And, yeah, I'm not quite sure how I feel, all in all, on Celtic's opening day of the season. I'm delighted we got 3 points at the day. We overcame the adversity, but the adversity was brought on by Celtic. Celtic's adversity was Celtic's performance tonight. Not great. Not great what we've seen so far. But hopefully we'll get better. Alistair Johnson walking off there. Arnie Engels, the camera's going to. I don't know if you see them in Celtic shirts again. I don't know if Celtic have replacements lined up for them, but in terms of their departure, Celtic will be swift. Celtic will be smart in their mind of getting rid of them. Casper, who? I tell you what, you keep getting yourself in those positions, big boy. I've got no doubt you'll get the goals. Keep supporting him. It's great to see Cal McGregor straight over to him. I think he has the confidence and the knowledge and the experience at 25 to know if I'm getting these chances, I'll be okay. I think that's what he feels right now. So Casper, who I'm going to keep believing in you, mate. Albeit it could have made our night a hell of a lot easier on the live stream. That would have been what we're looking for. Listen, I'm going to get out here and let the usual folk do their post-match shows, because I'm not going to then talk about a game that I've just done a game. I'm not Gary fucking Neville, who does the old fucking tunnel talk. He does the co-coms, he does the Gary Neville podcast, then jumps in the studio after it. He reminds me of someone. I'm getting out of here. Listen, we will be doing the watch-alongs, as I say, as many times as I can this season, and I'm promising you, I am going to do my best to make sure that's at least 75 to 80% of Celtic matches this season. It might not be for playing Celtic Hearts or something. You know what I mean? But thank you, everybody who has enjoyed the channel. Harry Shannon comes in with 200 jewels right at the end. That is the first time I've seen that. Not quite sure what they mean, but jamming. Good word, Harry Shannon. I'm getting out here. Thanks very much, everybody. Really appreciate all your contributions. If you want more of the bus, keep coming in. Keep pushing the buttons. Keep giving us the likes, the dislikes, the shares, the subscriptions, all that carry on. Don't worry about spending money. Don't worry about Jules. If you want to do that, great, but don't worry about that shite. But if you want the channel to be the busiest bus it's ever been, keep doing what you're doing, and I'll keep giving you a bit back myself in terms of shows like tonight. Well, Celtic, 3 points above, looking down on the Rangers, you could say. We'll see how long that lasts. It's going to be an eventful season. It's going to be an eventful season on the bus, watching these games with me. Thanks again.